Hi all, welcome to Tech Forum. In this video, let us see how to share files between Windows 10 and RHEL VM configured with Hyper-V. In last video, we have seen how to enable RHEL VM in Windows 10 with Hyper-V. Refer the video link in the description. Here we are going to access files from Windows 10 in RHEL VM and vice versa, the files from RHEL VM to Windows 10. Let's start with sharing the files from Windows to RHEL. As a first step, verify the network adapter in Hyper-V and ensure the correct adapter is used. So for that, you can go into this Hyper-V manager and click on the corresponding virtual machine. Then click on networking. So you will be able to see the connection name here, the adapter name, the Wi-Fi switch. This was configured earlier. So the switch name looking fine. So now we need to configure the static IP for this adapter switch. So this step may not be required if the IP is not changing. Okay, so for that you click on view network connection. Okay, now double click on the adapter Wi-Fi switch, my case. Click on properties. Now click on the Internet Protocol version 4 properties. Yeah, here I given the IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, the DNS values. So here IP address I given the static IP, so that will be configured every time. So these are all the values are configured based on the current values they set in the system. So to identify the values, what you can do is you can execute ipconfig/all command. So in the command prompt, so it will give you all this current value. Maybe only the IP address you can change it from there. All other values you can use the same one, the default gateway, DNS, and all those values. Yeah, so now all the details are configured. So apart from the IP address, all the values are same. So the IP address I changed based on my requirement. Okay, and now click on OK. Yeah, close this. Now the IP address is set. Maybe we need to verify whether the new IP address is assigned to the system. So for that, again you can go to the command prompt. So open the command prompt and just type ipconfig alone. Yeah, here you can watch the IP address. So what are the IP address we have configured in the previous section, so that IP address is reflecting now. So it means the new IP address is assigned. So you can also see the subnet mask, default gateway, and all those values are set properly now. Now turn on the SMB direct. So for that, go to turn Windows features on or off. Yeah, in this screen you can see SMB direct. So this will help you to transfer the files between two machines. So the SMB direct is Windows 10 specific, but for the earlier versions you can use the SMB 1.1.0. So my case 1.0 is already enabled, and also SMB direct I enabled now. Okay, so that's fine. Now we need to enable the sharing. So for that, what we need to do is go into advanced shared settings. Yeah, so click on the manage advanced sharing settings. Now you can see here the public folder sharing option. So here you need to enable that. So by default it is turned off. So but you need to you can enable the sharing. So it will allow you the network system to connect and copy the data. Okay, so that's now completed. Now we need to share the required folder. So all other configuration is completed. Let us now share the folder. So for that, I have already created a shared folder. So into specific folder named share VM. So click on properties, go to sharing, click on share. So I am going with my user default user, but you can create new users whatever you require, and you can change the permissions accordingly. But I am going with the owner ID. Yeah, so now the folder is shared. Okay, click on, yep, now click on complete here, done. Okay, the folder is now shared it. So now what we need to do is like these Windows configurations are completed. Now what we do, let us enable static IP for even the Linux machine, RHCL. So because we are going to use both the way file sharing. So for that, get into like log into the VM. So I am already logged in. Just let me enter my credential. Okay. Now you need to check the adapter name. For that you need to like execute this command nmcli con. So here I am having two adapter. For my case the first one is the actual adapter. So I am going to configure this adapter with the static IP. So for that you need to edit this specific file etc sysconfig network script and ifcfg and the adapter name. So use sudo because the root will have the access. Okay, enter the password. Yep, so here you need to do a first change is like you need to change the boot uh, type. So it's, right now it is a DHCP, it's a dynamic one, so change it to none. It's a boot protocol. Also now you need to like configure the IP address detail. So this is the same detail whatever we used in the Windows machine, but here only the IP address is going to be changed. So there it was 12, here is 13, remaining all details are same. Yeah, just copy paste that here at the end of this file. Okay, fine. Now save this file. Okay, now the configurations are done. But to verify this configuration, the system should be rebooted. So I'm going to reboot the system. It may take some time. Okay, system is rebooted. Now I'm again logging into the system. Okay, let me check the IP address now. You can use the ifconfig command in the terminal. Yep, you can see the new IP address is assigned now. So whatever I was configured, it's sent with the 13. Yep, now the new IP address is assigned. So this looking fine now. Now what we need to do is we need to install this utility CIFS utils. This will help you to map the Windows shared folder into the RHCL machine. So let me execute this command sudo yum install and CIFS utils. Enter the password. Okay. Once that is done, we need to mount the folder. So I have a folder shared in Windows. So with IP and IP address and the folder name, I need to map it. So for that, you need to enter the username, Windows username, corresponding password for that user. Okay, now like what are the file I had in Windows system, I am able to access it here. So this conclude the sharing of files from Windows machine to Linux VM through that is configured through this Hyper-V. So we created the file, we did some configuration changes in Windows machine, then we configured something here to share it, some utilities. So now we are able to. Now as a next step, we are going to share the file from the VM to our RHCL to Windows. For that, I am going to install Samba. So that is the server, file sharing server. So using this, you will be able to share the file from the RHCL to Windows. Okay, the utility is installed now. Yep, now once installed, so you are going to, I am going to create a directory. So is the directory going to be shared under opt. I create a folder called Samba. So I am going to share this folder with Windows. So now we need to configure the Samba server. So for that, what I'm doing is I'm taking the backup of this specific file, etc samba smb.conf. So to make sure I'm not changing anything that will impact the system. So I taken the backup. Now you edit that file. Add this configuration like with unique name. I'm going to give the name as samba hyphen share. So then you need to configure the folder also, so which folder you are going to share, then like what other configuration like browse shuffle and read only and all those things. So note this name because this is the name you are going to use later to access the files from the Windows system. Okay, so that's fine. Now you can save this file. Yeah, now as a next step we need to configure some users and group. So to manage this share, so first for that I'm just going and creating a new group called test group. So this group will have the access for the specific folder. Okay, I created the group. Now after that what we are going to do is like we are going to change the owner of that particular folder whatever we created to this group, and we are going to provide the required access. Okay, let us give the required access. Okay, the required access is given. Now we need to create a user. So I am creating just a test hyphen user. You can create any user based on your requirement. One second, sorry. Okay, now we need to add this user to the group whatever we created earlier. Let us do that. Okay, the user is added. Now another step is we need to add this user to the Samba server. So you can use this command smb password and add that specific user whatever we created, test hyphen user. Okay, you need to provide a password. So this username password will be used in the Windows system. Okay, the user is added now. So now as another next step we need to find out the firewall ID status. So if this is enabled, now what we need to do is so we need to ensure the Samba system or service is added into the firewall ID. So for that you can execute this command to check whether the Samba system is added. Okay, now if you see it's not added, so then what you need to do is you need to add that. So this command you can use it. So here I am using the permanent means, so it will persist the setting so across restarts. Okay, now it's saying success, so means it's added. One second. Sorry, I executed the wrong command. Yeah, it is success. So now it is added. So after this you can check the services. So it will not reflect it because you need to reboot the system. Anyway, let us review that. Yeah, still it's not reflecting. So just to reboot the system. Okay, reboot completed. I'm logging into the system. Okay, now let us check that whether it is added now. Okay, enter the password. Yeah, you can see that this server is added into the firewall ID now. So now what we need to do is we need to check the status for two services, SMB and NMD. So if the services are not started, we need to start those. Yeah, this is not started, so just to restart the service. Yeah, same way for another service also, SMB. Okay, yeah, the services are now started. So now, okay, now we need to come back to the Windows system. The settings are completed now, so I am going to access the shared folder. So this is the VM IP what we configured into with 13 in my case. So then the share name, the Samba share name is Samba-share. So because I already access is not asking the username password, so but if you access this for first time, so it will request you the username password. So right now there is no file share, but I am able to access the folder. So let me go back and add some file into that folder /apt /samba. I'm just creating a test file there. Okay, I'm adding some test content. Okay, save it and come back to again to the Windows system. So yeah, see the file is reflected now. If you just open it, you will have access to edit that file also. Yeah, so you can see the test content whatever you enable. Okay, this conclude the configuration. Thanks for watching.